more interesting careers in the hospital is that of the forensic nurse. A forensic nurse not only cares for patients, they're also an important part of the criminal justice system. Let's hear what one of Bon Secours' own forensic nurses has to say about her job.
Hello, my name is Sarah Jennings and I'm a forensic nurse at Bon Secours Hospital. I'm sorry I couldn't be here today with you, but I want to tell you a little bit about what I do. I am a forensic nurse for all the hospitals in the area, and I take care of patients that have either been physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, or are victims of domestic violence. I also take care of very elderly patients that have been abused or neglected. I'm trained to help police by observing, recognizing, collecting, and documenting evidence. On CSI, the investigators collect evidence from a body or a crime scene, but I only deal with living patients.
Most patients see a forensic nurse when they have been the victim of a crime. Forensic nurses may see the patient in the emergency room, in the main hospital, or in their office.
I'd like to show you where I actually work. This is our exam room. To my right, this is our pediatric interview house. All of our children that come see us are actually able to be interviewed here in our office. We have a really nice table for them. They also get to have a special stuffed animal that they take home with them.
Forensic nurses use several pieces of very specialized equipment.
This machine right here is called a colposcope. It's a very large microscope that we use to look for potential findings, injuries, or DNA evidence. I'm going to show you how it works. We'll use my friend the teddy bear. What we do is pull the microscope down, zoom in on an area that we'd like to see, and it magnifies it on the TV screen for us. Another instrument we use is an alternative light source. You may have seen it on CSI. This light source helps us to see any fluid that may be on a patient. What we do is we dim the lights just like we've done, and we turn it on. We take the blue light and we shine it all over the patient's body, but we remember to look through the orange filter. That helps us to see if there's anything on the patient. Another special piece of equipment that we use is our digital camera. One thing that we do is document injuries that people have received from a bite wound. Whenever anyone has been bit, we use a special ruler called an ABFO ruler, which stands for the American Board of Forensic Odontology, a fancy term for just a dentist that's also a forensic scientist. What we do is we take this and place it over top of the bite and photograph it. That helps the scientists actually make a mold of that person's mouth.
Patients normally only visit a forensic nurse when they have been affected by a crime or abuse. The forensic nurse plays an important role in these situations.
Part of what I do is collect different types of evidence from patients. The types of evidence I collect are DNA evidence, photographic evidence, and physical evidence, which can be dirt, saliva, it could be fingernail scrapings, or hair. Another form of evidence we collect is DNA evidence. Anytime you may see a fluid that you may think may be DNA evidence, you'll want to swab it to collect it. If it's a fluid, you can use both swabs at the same time and swab over top of it using a circular motion. Once you've collected that, you're actually going to put it onto a slide so that the scientists can analyze it for potential DNA. One thing I forgot to mention, you'll always want to have gloves on during this. Once you do that, it actually goes into a drying box so we can save it and let all the specimen dry down onto the swab to save for the scientist. Just like your evidence bag, it will go back into an envelope just like this, and you will seal the top and write your initials across the top again.
Most of the evidence forensic nurses gather is private, so it's hard to show you how it's done. One way, though, is to use a mock crime scene.
Today, you will participate in a mock crime scene. As a forensic nurse, I don't actually go to the crime scene, but we thought it would be fun for you to have a mock crime scene here at the hospital.
During the mock crime scene activity, you will collect 3 kinds of evidence: physical evidence, DNA evidence, and photographic evidence. All of our physical evidence and DNA evidence will be placed into paper bags. Here's Sarah to tell us why.
All of our evidence that we collect is stored in paper bags, not plastic. Plastic will actually destroy our evidence. When you're collecting your evidence at your mock crime scene, what you will do is place any evidence you find into a paper bag. Once you've placed your evidence in your bag, you're going to take your tape across your back seal, making sure that no gaps are left, like this. Wrapping your tape around the front, and then you can cut it. You're going to sign your initials wherever the seal ends and across the back seal. The reason for this is so that no one else can mess with your evidence. This will know that you are the only one that have had this in your custody until you hand it off to someone else.
Because evidence is so important, a forensic nurse is always careful to make sure that they can prove their evidence was not tampered with.
Now that you've collected all your evidence, it's very important to remember, until you turn your evidence over to the police officer, you have to hold on to it. That means even if you have to go to the bathroom, it has to stay with you. Once you go and collect everything, you'll package it all in one box, sign your name, date, and time, and hand it over to the police officer.
Becoming a forensic nurse is a little challenging, so here's Sarah to tell you exactly how you could do it.
If you would like to become a forensic nurse, you should study both math and science and get a college degree as a registered nurse in a field with math or science. If you would like to be a forensic scientist, you can also focus your career in math and science, and then you would have a specific career in forensic science. You could also be a medical examiner and go to MD school and actually have a doctoral degree. I hope you all enjoy your crime scene today, and I hope you have learned a little bit more about evidence and evidence collection. If you or anyone you know has ever been hurt by anyone, always know that there's doctors and nurses that are specially trained to take care of children just like you at all the hospitals in the area. If you ever have any questions, you can always talk to your mom and dad, your teachers, or any doctor or nurse. Hope you all have a great day and enjoy your activities.